y'all. How y'all doing? I hope I can get all this, to fit in with what little space I have left. Um, I would have done more videos, but there's only so much room. So I had to keep it to what I need to say. So this is going to be like a continuation of Come and See, and also, Not My King, and I'm going to explain kind of, why that is. All right. Now, I don't know. Okay, everyone knows, I'm pretty sure about the shooting, and some may know or may not know that they've noticed that there's, like this was in a movie, I don't know which one, but some, other people have noticed that, and it's something I haven't seen. And I think even in The Simpsons, this is how they do it. They put the stuff out there, and it'll be like years. This stuff takes years to roll out their little plan, because they literally put it out there for everyone to see, and then they do their distractions and everything, and then all of a sudden, okay, so they do their, what you want to call it, actions and skits or something. I don't know, false flags, and all this stuff. They put it out in the movies, the TV shows, and they're giving signs. And then where does Roti and crew go to after this happens? Okay, because they're literally pointing a finger, right? They're pointing a finger at someone. So they go over to London and go to Buckingham Palace. There's the, Charlie shooting that happened. Okay? They're pointing a finger to Charlie, telling Illuminati, and then they're showing where they're going, like what they mean. They're pointing at someone. It's literally their plot to kill. Okay? And here's the thing. That's not even the real king. That's an actor. They're actors. That's not the true royal, blood. But they're literally pointing a finger. They're telling their Illuminati buddies, who to take out. So, not my king, because that's not the king. That's not my king for sure. Okay? And they're playing roles. I mean, they're sitting there playing the roles so that they can, tell their people who to take out. I mean, how long ago, I don't remember how long ago it was, the shot heard around the world. Do you remember that? They put this stuff out. And then, and it's over time so that people really don't, notice it or put it together. And then they're causing all this chaos to distract, so that when things happen, oh, no one will look at that. They put me through a lot. So I'm pretty much, good at seeing it. I mean, look up how many nobles from, history till now were named Charles. Look at that. Look at the names Charles and Charlie, and just, look at patterns, look at correlations, and it's, they will send people in. I mean, it's literally in scripture that, that your enemies are in your own household. So, like your closest, who you keep closest to you, those that you have like a rose-tinted colored glasses on, and you're not seeing it. That's why it's helpful to have people that are psychics, mediums, that have, these extra senses. I caught in, a video about Young, oh, forget his first name, is it Carl? But Young, Jung, and it was something about that the people that all the blame is thrown on, you know, the black sheep, the outcast, all that stuff, that literally them being that person and going through that is what makes them a seer. You know, the way that you have people that are Hyokas and stuff like that, it's from what they've been through. That's why people that have a lot of wisdom and knowledge have been through a lot, and that's how they're able to see things better. They've been around very, very dark people, and you know, if you've been around the darkest, man, you're gonna see all the tricks. You know, you're gonna recognize stuff that others may not. And, you know, they've done all these things to, you know, to hurt, harm, torture, delete brain, you know, everything that they can do. And they don't believe God is real, but yet if you've been through all of that and like total sleep deprivation, like that's been like my whole life, just poisonings, you name one thing after another, and it never stopping. And then you're able to come back from that, from, you know, it's basically like you lose yourself and then come back. There's no way that can happen unless God exists. You follow what I'm saying? You can heal, you know, any issues that you have. You need to heal your brain, heal your chakras, energy centers, which are portals, and that's how you're able to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. You will know, see, you have to come up higher to be able to see better, right? But these people, you know, whether you believe Illuminati, Freemasons, but, you know, they do kill people. They actively slow poison people over a long extended time, so you don't know what's happening. They do these things so they can run their insurance scams, their, you know, kill people for money scams, and, you know, oh, these people have inheritances. Okay, we're gonna, you know, put somebody in with you since, you know, your birth, or this or that, or, you know, whatever it is, they find a doorway in. I mean, that, what was that movie? End of Days with Schwarzenegger. There's, at the very beginning, this child is born, and they sacrifice a snake and do some kind of negative, you know, black magic, spell work, okay, over the child. And the nurse that was there ends up, this girl's, you know, her parents die, and ends up being this girl's stepmother, which that really tripped me out, because it made me realize in my own situation that my, you know, not mother, you know, adoptive mother, whatever, but it was a fraud adoption, that she was something like that, a nurse or something, or that she did nursing or something like that, and I happened to be a storm baby, and I'm like, wait a minute, you know, I mean, they were all involved. But if you have people that, you know, read tarot cards, but they're really good at it, you know, they have intuition with it, or they have, you know, like the clairs and all that stuff, that they're able to see things better than other people, and that's, you know, their talent, you know, what they're there for, and man, they can help a lot in ways you cannot imagine, but they definitely earn it. You know what I'm saying? But that's, you know, instead of turning away from it because, you know, oh, well, it's written in the Bible. You know, books are for reference. Heart is for truth. You know, you get the truth when you heal all your chakras so that you can see it. Otherwise, you know, you don't. All right, y'all. But yeah, that's not my king. No way. And if you're able to, like, you can watch my other videos, if you're able to, how can I say it? Just be able to, you know, tap into the Akashic records, and I mean, you can start seeing things, patterns. You start realizing, like, oh, well, this person is this person in history, and was this person, and this person, and, you know, it's a trip. So you can see a lot that way, and you realize, yeah, that's not my king. You know, I don't know about y'all, but it's a farce. It's a farce. I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know who else sees it, but it's not right. Remember, Satan has the airways, so they're putting a bunch of, the illusion that's in front of everyone. You know, there's those that know, but they're kept under secrecy and won't tell. But that's how they put out their words and tell people who to kill, who to go after. They do it right in front of everyone's eyes. They use actors and everything, and yeah, people are part of it that don't even know that they're using, trickery in order to do something, in order to pull the wool over people's eyes. But it's how they put out their words, that this is, their plot. They're, to be serial killers and kill off who they want to kill. And they do everything, right in front of everyone's eyes. But no one sees it because it's done over time. All right, I got to keep this short. I'm definitely needing some help and some assistance so that I can get what I need to, continue making content. I run out of storage and, can't record anymore. The phone starts acting really crazy if it's, too full on storage, you know what I mean? But something so that I'm able to, continue. I definitely need help and to get away from very, horrific oppression as well. But I want to help other people that, have been through this kind of stuff. There is a way out, and that's what I've been talking about in these videos, and trying to help people to see how they can get out of their situation and to never ever give up. Don't quit. Ascension is real, manifestation is real. So if you are knowing what you're saying when you're saying it in order to manifest what you want in, right? So if you pay special attention to that, it makes a big difference, and it will really help you, to guide you. So, I mean, there is a part of reprogramming your brain in how you speak. You can do that, though. You can do that. You can change it all. But turn to God. You turn to the Most High, and He turns to you. He definitely does. And for people to come back from things that were impossible, that's God doing that. And maybe some people don't realize that, but you can't do the impossible without God, the Most High. You just can't. But I'm doing these videos to try to help, save people from that harm, from something like that happening. Imagine if you didn't have much time and you kind of had to say what you had to say, to try to stop it. But sometimes you can't, But the best thing you can do is to be able to, put it out there when you see, what they're doing. It's just right in front of everyone's eyes, and people that you're told to respect and be this way, but they're lying, they're pulling illusion in front of everyone's eyes, and it's been going on for a long time, a very long time. They're hiding secrets so they can still kill and destroy. Like I said, it's like, wearing the P resident mask. Yeah, I'm saying it in code. Like in robbing everyone. You know, they're putting on masks and just robbing everyone. Go look in the community post on my channel. Go look at I posted a picture up there, and it's got what looks like two people, but it's really just the same person. Take a close look. It'll wake you up for sure. All right, y'all. God bless. You know, I hate to, bring out something as bad as this, that they are literally, they tell people who to kill, and they'll use codes and everything else, and they go out and do it. That's how you have these tragedies that happen. Then they make, all this money off of the stories, what it sells and everything. And of course, Illuminati get a portion of that. This is the kind of things they do, people. There are people like, what is a clone? A clone is somebody that is a shell. What is it? Oh, if you do not have love, you are just a clanging cymbal. You're just like noise. You're a shell. You're not who you would be, if you were awake, if you had your chakras healed, which that's why people go through traumas, or, have difficulty with traumas, is because they're unhealed. How do you heal that? Well, you learn about healing the chakras. You learn about vibration scale, manifestation, dark night of the soul, which is also the wilderness. There's a lot of these words that you'll hear that when you hear the other words that are meaning the same thing, you would just sit back and relax and be like, oh. Like the psoas, it's Psoas, like a psoas muscle or something like that. But that's also called kundalini, but it's the same thing. So people freak out over kundalini, but not psoas muscle. It's the same thing. They talk about things in a certain way so that when you're ascended, that you're like, oh, you see so much more. So those that are not, you'll understand why it is that things, you're looking at other people like, what? Until you see it, until you get there. It's a work in progress. And you tap into literally what Sherlock Holmes was talking about in the series. But he said something about mind castles. I like to fall out when I heard that. But you're tapping into like the mind castles of mind castles. The quantum, computer and ethernet, if you will. It's where you hear from the Most High, from the divine, from spirit guides that assist. That's, you see signs of the universe. Okay, I mean, there's songs like I Saw the Signs, Ace of Base. There's what is it, Universe song? What's Universe song? By Tesla, of all names. Tesla, like Nikola Tesla. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's no coincidence, and it's, there's people that believe in coincidences. No, that's like the universe telling you something. It's, yeah, a lot of signs. And when you're able to see that, you can read it, and it does depend upon what you've been through. The more you've been through, the more that you see. Or maybe some of you have been through a lot and don't even know it. Okay? It just depends on how much. Have you ever watched Men in Black? How much neuralizer, mind eraser that they've done. So, there's a lot of coding in literally the whole universe. It's not just movies and TV and that, but it's in everything. The music and words and like even headlines that they use, or names of hurricanes or tropical depressions. I mean, there's just, you could take anything and, like, for instance, put in gematria, gematrix.org, and it's a word calculator. But you type it in there, and Read it. You know, you have people that just look at this and run off. No, read it. Read it. Find something interesting, click on that, you know, or think of something else to type in and read it. See what you see, you know. And it depends on what you resonate with that you will notice more than others. And when you heal your chakras and you come up at a higher vibration level, you will see things differently. It's a different perspective completely. Have you ever watched The Life of Pi? I mean, in the very beginning of that movie, he's checking out these different, you know, religions, which, you know, religion is not good. Re and the word legion. That's what the word religion is put together, is re and the word legion. So you need to really think about that. But this is about being, you know, spiritualist instead of religious. It's about being a naturalist versus someone who's, you know, not into nature at all, which being against nature is being against God. It just is. You have to be able to see things correctly. Eating meat, that's what they want you to do so you can't see. That keeps you from intuition, seeing a lot, you know, your gut instinct. You are what you eat. So if you eat dead flesh, you understand that they put you in that room. And you can absolutely live without that. You can live on fruits, vegetables, dairy, nuts, seeds. I mean, they have everything you need. You know, the hemp seed has got like everything in it. You know, there's so much that has so much in it that it doesn't make sense to get it from animal meat. And besides, you don't know what animal meat that is. Is it even animal? They do some really sick things. These are not trustworthy people that have been running things. Okay? So, yeah, you absolutely can live off of, you know, eating food that is not meat. I mean, it's been healing me. And, like, people, if you have issues with cancer and stuff like that, I mean, do a parasite cleanse. You know, they have, what is it, black walnut shell or something, hull or something like that, but it you know, there's natural things that they have that will do like a parasite cleanse, because if you're eating meat, you need a parasite cleanse, period. It introduces parasites into the gut biome. They're literally attacking your chakras by you eating meat. So, I mean, you would literally, if you continue to eat meat, you just stay on parasite cleanse. I mean, but you're not going to be able to do things that other people can do. That's being left behind. So, this has already run too long. Alright, y'all. There's a lot of this stuff, man, but I only have so much room, so that's a big issue. But anyway, just wanted to cover some points, and, you know, love you guys. God bless. Take care, and choose to heal. Choose to heal. Choose, you know, you choose this way, you'll know. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of one of these, what is that? Follow the yellow brick road, you know? You're following the path of ascension, you know? For your better and highest good, so that you can be abundant, so that you can have the life you always dreamed of. You know, what things were you praying for as a young kid, if you ever have? If not, start praying now. What do you dream of? Think about that. What would you want to, you know, have as a dream life? Do a vision board. You know, you do these things and then you make it a goal, and you work with the divine in order to speed things up. But you definitely have got to heal. Heal all the traumas. You heal it in the past, present, so that you have the excellent future. One that just would probably blow your mind, you know? It's a beautiful thing to clear all that off of you. Then you have a heart light as a feather. And then you can literally go on to do, you know, fulfill your destiny, your purpose, your dreams. The sky's the limit. All right, guys. God bless.